Hey everybody. So on this episode we're gonna do something a little shifting gears. Um, my podcast was called Beer Barbecue and Stories. And it's like our beer stories and barbecue. It was like BSB or something, bullshit and barbecue. But I'm gonna change it up a little. A friend of mine kind of helped me out with this, and he'll be on the show at some point, probably within a couple of weeks. But it is, what's your why? What's your why with some beers, or what's your why with with a drink? Um, and that's because why am I doing this? Um, I'm doing it for a lot of different reasons to kind of get us out there. I don't think there's enough military podcasts or enough people that are doing interviews with military members for this. But there's this, and we've had this discussion before, him and I, and once he gets on the show, we'll talk about it a little bit more. But you see a podcast or a podcaster, and as he goes through from inception of when he starts the podcast to a couple years down the road, and you see how fluid he is and how amazing he ends up turning out to be. But at first, it's a little rocky, and I think mine's kind of a little rocky at some point. I mean, I've been getting a lot of great feedback, but it was one of those, why am I doing this? What's the premise? And the premise is to tell stories, to kind of give your side. I've had a couple individuals reach out to me, one of them being my some good friends of mine, saying that it's all good information. It's been good information. The last one was really good information because it kind of gives you my thoughts and my ideology behind what I feel, and then it also gives you resources with some statistics as well. Sometimes I'll throw in some good stuff, right? But this episode is a little different because it's going to kind of give you my why and a reintroduction of my why to being a little somber. But then at the end, we'll talk a little bit more. First, I'm going to start off with my beer. It's from Abilene, Texas. It's Grain Theory. It's a Imperial Red IPA. I was told, why did I have hippie beer the other day? Because I had a California beer, and they were like, "Why the fuck do you have a hippie beer?" Well, beer's beer. Beer doesn't discriminate. Beer doesn't have ideas and ideologies and other things. So we're gonna go with some good old Grain Theory. I actually, this is a second take because I popped it open and it kind of just went everywhere. I don't know. It must have been shaken, not stirred. But oh, that's really good, really good. But getting back, um, why I'm doing this? Well, there's a lot of different reasons. One, because a lot of people don't like to be vulnerable, and I don't want to put people in a vulnerability spot. But I want to give my side, and I want to give what I've done and how I felt. Um, with this one, this is a little different from the love and then the depression and anxiety. This one's feeling insignificant, um, insignificant, insecure, and inadequate. And it happens quite a bit. It happens to us as we leave the military and again try to find our identity. That was the last episode with that anxiety and depression. You lose your identity, but it goes a little deeper than that because for me, it's kind of childhood trauma, and I don't feel inadequate. Um, I'm sorry, and I feel inadequate. I don't feel like I'm adequate enough. Hence the reason why I'm always chasing something. The other day I was just having this conversation where I am kind of seeking a thrill, and I don't know what it is yet. Um, so who knows? Who knows what thrills lay ahead? But it's one of those that we, as military members, do feel inadequate. We joined, at a young age. This is all we know. Especially if you do 20 years. Even if you do 5, 10 years, when you get out of the military, you don't feel like you adapt really well. And that inadequacy and insecurities kick in. Am I doing it right? I mean, I have a pretty damn good job right now, and I know that I'm doing a great job, but I still feel like am I good enough to do this? Am I adequate enough? Can I handle the stress? Which is bullshit because I've handled the stress all my fucking life. I mean, being deployed, you get the stress. Being, prepping for deployment, you get stress. Sending your troops off, you get stressed. Dealing with a 120-man shop, you get stressed. I can't like relay that enough. I am adequate. And it's taken me a while to kind of build to that, but I still have those moments where I don't feel it. I don't feel inadequate. I'm sorry, I feel inadequate. I feel like I'm going to fail at some point. And we all fail. We all fail, but what do we do at that point? We get up and we push through again. And that's what I feel. I don't want to say every day, but that's what I feel when I go into work. So it's hard to break those habits. It's hard to kind of get to that point to where you are going to feel like you're doing a good thing. Because when you were in the military, you were doing a great thing. You were serving your country, whatever it may have been. Could I have done more in the military? Absolutely. We all could. Well, I say we all, but there's a lot of individuals that have done a lot, and some that have sacrificed their lives, and others. But that inadequacy kind of leads me down the path of, what do I want to do next? Why do I want to do next? Why do I want to do more? Well, this is what this podcast is for. It's to bring those individuals in and say, hey, let's have a seat. Let's talk. What is your why? What do you feel? And the individuals that I'm going to be interviewing, I don't want them to feel like they need to be vulnerable on this platform, because that's not it. I just want them to have their story and get it out. And that's kind of my why is, why do I want to do this? Because I want people to understand that, I know people have thought of me as, doing a lot in my life, and I'm successful in everything that I've done, and I've been here, been there, done this, done that. But they don't understand what little demons I have in my head, what I have tucked away, and what I have to fight on a daily basis. Because it's hard. It's absolutely hard. And if I can just get this one, get somebody to relate to it and understand and make a positive impact, then that is my why. So if you are feeling that way, reach out. Understand that you've done a lot for your country already. And, kind of, I don't want to say push through, but you got this. That inadequacy is natural. I mean, a lot of people feel that way. People who've never joined the military feel inadequate in every which way, shape, or form. But it's up to us to kind of push through and kind of help each other out. Kind of, slap little Timmy in the ass and be like, hey, come on, you got this, But my why for this is, I want a platform where it's enjoyable, where we can talk about stupid shit, where we can talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, and there may be a time where I break down in tears. I mean, the first couple episodes of this year have been a little somber. I think the last one was a little light, a little light, but you never know. I mean, I'm human. I do sit there and cry sometimes because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing in life. That's what I feel. Am I doing great? Yeah, pretty good. But I'm not perfect by any means. I make mistakes. Just like the rest of you guys. So I hope that this platform and this why kind of, pushes somebody to get the help that they need, to get some counseling, to do what they need to do to become a better person and feel adequate, because ultimately we're in this world together. I mean, I know we go out and fight wars against however you feel about things, but there's no way out of this world. We're all gonna perish at some point, but why not try to make it better for each other? And this is what I want to do. I want to make people laugh. I want to make people see like, oh, hey, this is fucking actually great, and not just another podcast where it just talks about politics and people get upset, or talks about religion, or talks about let's not talk about that. Let's talk about something that's enjoyable. So I want to get back. I want to get back to that why. Why I joined the military was, very first couple podcasts, talked about it. I wanted to get out of the house. I wanted to travel. I wanted to see things. I'm not your typical. This is going to be weird, but I'm not your typical Mexican. I'm definitely, back home. All my cousins and family still live in the same spot, and I haven't lived in Texas in 25, 26 years. 26 years. And do I ever want to move back? Well, let me rephrase it. I haven't lived in San Antonio. I lived in Texas because I got stationed there for a couple years. So 6 years actually, fucking longest time. But do I want to move back to Texas? I don't want to move back to San Antonio. I mean, you see Texas, oh, right there. You see San Antonio's like right. I can't. It's a little weird right there. I want to move way up here, way down there, or someplace else, Tennessee. But sorry, that little finger thing kind of fucked with me. But I like to travel. I like to experience new things, see new things, new foods, new everything. And that was my why. Why not fucking join and get the fuck out of the damn house? Get the hell out of San Antonio. Beautiful city. I don't regret, I definitely don't regret leaving. Do I regret not staying? Sometimes, because we all miss key family moments and key family things, family, friends, whatever it may be. But I don't regret leaving. I enjoyed it. I had a great time. I wish I could have done more. Um, but sometimes when it's time for us to go, it's time for us to go. 20 years with a little bit of discrepancies towards the end kind of tainted my military career in a sense. But it didn't define who I was. It didn't define what I taught others, how I taught others, where I was in that point. It just meant that I wasn't going to be able to reach the goals that I wanted to reach. And that was my own fault. That was my own stupidity. Um, but I'm here now. And I'm doing this because I want others to realize that, yeah, you did 20 years military, you did 4 years military, you did 10 years military. That doesn't define who you are as a person. That defines what you did for a time frame. And now, why are you out and doing things? Because you're not going to be military forever. There's no way. You can't do that. So once you get out, what's your further purpose in life? What do you want to do? Why do you want to do it? And, I'm still trying to figure that out. But it's a constant goal setting. It's a constant reaching those goals and achieving more goals to get to where you want. So part of that why was, while I was or when I first joined, it was to get out of the house, to get away, to serve my country. I joined pre 9/11. So you could think, for those of you guys who don't understand this, but going onto a military installation now is ID checks. Sometimes they check your vehicle. Before they would just wave you on. Come on, come through the gate. Come through the gate. You got a sticker? Come on, come on. Then September 11th hit, and that changed my why. My why was, oh, I just want to travel, see the world. And then my why progressed a little. Why? Because they fucking attacked us. Why? Because I want to do greater good or greater evil, however you feel about it. Why? Why? Well, it's a key question that you should ask yourself every day. Why? Why do you wake up? Why do you want to do what you do? Why do you feel stagnant in where you're at? So change that why. And this is where it goes. After September 11th, I was stationed at Travis. I was actually deployed during September 11th, and my why changed at that point. It changed as I'm deployed in a guard tower, looking down range right at Iraq, which was, I think, maybe 15 miles away, not knowing exactly what was going on. And then it further changed when I got to Okinawa and I saw, when I was stationed in Japan, and I saw I deployed less than a year later to Saudi Arabia, and we were prepping for the Iraq War. And my why changed again. And then after I got back, um, got a divorce. I ended up going to Iraq and Afghanistan in '06 and '07, and my why changed again. And I had another child in '08, '09, '09, and then it changed again in 2011 because these four children that I had became my why. I served 20 years, and four of those years are mine. Those are my service. The other four terms were for my children. So I did 20 years so my children, if they choose to, they can join the military, but they don't have to because I did their service for them. In my eyes, that was my why. I did not want them to see the things that I saw. And I saw some, and I saw, there was some stuff, but I didn't see the complete atrocities that most people did. But my why was to kind of shield them from that later on in life. And towards the end, my why to get out was also different. Was because I didn't want to. I wanted to travel and still see the world and still do my duties, but I didn't want to be away from them because I had these wonderful little kids. My first two kids and my second two kids had two different dads. In essence, I was a different person, with the first set of kids than I was with the second, and that changed my mindset and my why as well because I wanted to be there more for them. And it wasn't that I didn't want to be there for my older kids. It was just I wasn't afforded the opportunity to. So now my why has changed. Now my why is even a lot different than it was last year, than it was when I retired. My why right now is my kids again, but what I want to do with them, what I want to show them, why I want to show them the things that I want to show them. It makes a difference. So find your why. Yeah, I do say that I feel inadequate, sometimes insecure with certain things. Um, but looking at my why, thinking about my whys kind of helps me, grounds me back to, hey, this is important. And that's something that you should think about. That's something that I have written down and ready to go for my the person that I'm going to interview next, because it's all about why. Why do I have the job that I have now? Because I set myself up. I built those blocks to get where I'm at. Why do I want to travel? Because god damn, there's a fucking badass world out there. There's a world that you can only imagine. I mean, if you're not a world traveler, if you haven't, gone places, even in the United States, it's a big fucking country. Go see the world. Go see the fucking United States. I mean, look at that thing. That thing's fucking massive. And that's just a little map. But people don't understand that that's part of my why. To make memories. Because you can't take any of this shit with you. You can't. You can't take any earthly possessions. All you can take is your damn mind. And that's a why right there. So I, kind of challenge you guys as to think about your why. Write it down. What is your fucking why? Where is that why going to take you? Do you want to change your why a little? Do you want to make yourself feel like, miserable every day? Because sometimes I do. Not gonna lie. I don't need to lie about anything. You know, I have a friend of mine that tells me all the time, like, kind of pull your head out of your ass, essentially. My best friend, when I talk to him, we give each other advice all the time. And, you know, I don't know that I fully have told him, but, even the little exchanges on a every couple day basis is kind of gives me that why. My kids do the same thing, especially when I get them because I have them a week on, week off. Fuck. Just seeing them come through the door changes my mentality at times. So find your why and do what makes you happy. because hopefully this right here gives me a better why. Because I want this to work. I want to push and say, fuck it, let's fucking change the goddamn narrative of what's going on in the podcast. Because some of these questions that I have here is, like, would you change anything? Do you have any regrets? I only have one regret. One regret in this whole fucking time. I did some stupid shit. I did some shady shit. I did some fucking amazing shit. But I have one regret. And that regret is not even what you would think. Not even what you would think. I went deep sea fishing in Okinawa. And, as we're deep sea fishing, let me backtrack a little. I was 23 at the time, going on 24. I had never tried sushi because I was afraid of raw food in general. My steaks were always well done. I grew up fucking Mexican in San Antonio, and you can't tell because I don't have any accent. I don't have a Texas accent. I don't have a fucking Hispanic accent or Mexican accent. But I grew up, and beans and rice were fucking a staple every fucking day. Beans and rice and fucking some kind of meat. And steaks were like, they needed to be well done, like fucking goddamn burnt. And I had never tried sushi. So we're deep sea fishing. Little Okinawan boat captain. We go out there, we're catching. Caught a fucking mahi. I caught the biggest one on the boat. We all pitched in. I fucking won the pot. I don't remember what it was, a couple $100. But excited as fuck. Won that. And then he's just kind of trolling. Just sending out lines and stuff. And he caught a tuna. Pretty decent fucking sized tuna. He's flopping around on the fucking boat, and he pulls out this fucking fillet knife and then just fucking cuts it. And I'm looking at him like, what the fuck is this guy doing? This fish is still flopping around, and he's just fucking cutting pieces off of it, just chunks, and trying to hand it to everybody. I was afraid of sushi. I didn't know. I had read a few months prior where this guy in Okinawa had worms in his head and they associated it with something. I didn't care. At the time I was 23, kind of a little ignorant, kind of didn't understand. And I said, I passed on that. That is my one fucking regret in life, is I could have had the freshest fucking sushi in life. In life. And I chose not to do it because I was afraid. Now, I don't really care. I am ready to try anything, do anything. Fuck it. Why not? It's one life. You gotta try it. You gotta enjoy it. You don't like it? You don't like it. Fuck it. But that's part of my questions, is like, why? Why the fuck? I don't regret anything else. I had some guardian angels fucking help me out. I had, could I have done things differently? Yeah. But why? Because it didn't shape me into who the fuck I am. That was one regret, because that could have changed my mindset. I was in Okinawa and I didn't even like sushi. Fuck what I would give to go back to Okinawa and have fucking fresh Okinawan sushi on a fucking daily, right? So that was my one regret in the military, or one regret probably in life. But yeah, it's one of those where you have to just take advantage of it. Just do it. Sorry, there was a quick little pause because my dog was out there barking and I had to kind of stop and check to see what was going on. So I apologize for that quick little pause. That's the one thing that I don't like about this, is that I'm not going to do any edits. But I also didn't want to have that in the background and people be like, oh, what's going on? So I had to go check to see what was going on. It was real quick. It was real brief. It was really nothing. But I want you to think about that. Do you have any regrets? Should you have regrets? Because you shouldn't. You should enjoy it. Unless they're stupid regrets like, the sushi. I mean, come on. Fucking sushi. Fresh. Like, you can't get it any fresher unless you're underwater and take a fucking bite out of that goddamn fucking fish. And good luck with that. So, I challenge you to look at your life and don't think of things as regrets. Do things bother you? Do you think you could have done things differently? Absolutely. But don't change your stance. Everything happens for a reason. You did everything for a reason, and You're still here. So, with that being said, think about your whys. Write them down. Write down why you want to grow, what you want to grow into. Why are you doing the things that you're doing? Why are things good for you? Why are things bad for you? But create that why and create that why mindset. So I leave you with that. I leave you with push forward. Be each other's support. Take care of each other. Because this is a fucking dog eat dog world. And you only have one of these lives. You ain't coming back. So make sure we look out for each other. Make sure we care for each other. Tell those that you love them. Tell those that you hate, fucking goddamn I hate you, but you're still part of my life, right? No, don't say that. Don't say that. Even though there's times where I want to. But just create that goal. I have a whiteboard that I put, I want to say almost every day, but every day that I'm at work, try to. I put up a new quote. Most of the quotes are kind of inspiring because it kind of gives me my why. And do that for yourself, because when you look at it, it'll help you realize what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong. Set yourself goals. Every day when I wake up, I see the goals as I walk out my bedroom door to go downstairs and go to work. Am I going to achieve them? I hope so. I'm trying. I'm trying to achieve them. But we all need to do things to better ourselves. And I challenge you with that. Now, I will be in San Antonio next week, visiting my mom, because my mom has a couple things. And I'll be there for 4 days. And if you're watching this and you want to do a podcast, please hit me up. I'm down to do it. I don't care. I'll take an hour out of that time and go and meet you, and we can do a podcast or go to your house or do whatever. I know there's a couple that I would like to do that I'm not gonna name their names, but Kale Singler, yeah, you motherfucker, you fucking bastard. I'd like to do one with you, because that would be good. I'm doing one with my best friend, so you'll see that one. Hopefully he's lively, because he's kind of fucking dry, that fucking, yeah, you know I want to say other things, but I'm not going to. And Dirty, but I know Dirty's a little busy and preoccupied. He's still active duty, so you know, I try to give everybody, you know, hopefully at some point I can have these podcasts done with them. There's others. I wish Wells would fucking say yes, but he's being yeah, you know. Anyway, cheers. Have a good one. Oh, you see my Rangers? Fucking goddamn Rangers. Have a good one, and be safe out there. I love you guys, and if you need anything, reach out. I'm willing, glad, and able to. And I hope to get plenty of guests soon. All right, talk to you soon.